Hi everybody, thanks for coming back, listening to me again about the Battle of Britain. Something really sort of fired me up recently that I wanted to share with you. And I was at the Royal Air Force Club in Piccadilly for lunch with Martin Mace, one of my closest friends, who founded Britain at War magazine and who is now commissioning editor at Pen and Sword. And afterwards, we popped over the road to Green Park to the Bomber Command Memorial, which is a very impressive piece of artwork and a really worthy monument to the thousands of Bomber Command aircrew who gave their lives in the Second World War. But I think that when we think of Bomber Command, we tend to think in terms of four-engined heavy bombers, Lancasters, Halifaxes, Stirlings, and the night bombing of Germany, which is all very well. However, let's not forget that Bomber Command, Coastal Command, and the Fleet Air Arm were all fighting during the Battle of Britain. And they're unrecognised for that. Now, the 8-volume official history that I produced for the Battle of Britain Memorial Trust and National Memorial to the Few has investigated every single day of the battle, every single combat, from all points of view, from the ground upwards, and all of those commands. Because it's important. And when Churchill made his speech, and he referred to the courage of our British airmen, that's really not an accurate statement anyway, because think about all the foreign nationals who were flying with the Royal Air Force during the Battle of Britain: Poles, Czechs, Belgians, French, Dutch, and of course men from the Commonwealth, Australians, New Zealanders, Canadians, and so on. So, but what he said was about the courage of our airmen. He didn't specifically say our fighter pilot or fighter aircrew. And it's open to interpretation, but I think it's fair to say he was talking about the Royal Air Force as a whole. And there certainly was a battle going on. Now, Bomber Command had a very difficult job to do with reasonably limited resources and just twin-engine bombers. The Wellington was the best bomber of the time. The Whitley, which was obsolete really, and the Blenheim. But, you know, these are medium bombers, similar to the Heinkels and Dorniers and so on. But what they've got to do are several things. Firstly, reconnaissance. Secondly, attacking the invasion preparations along the Channel coast. Now, that was so important because, and they really did disrupt those preparations. The assembly of the barges, the invasion fleet that was going to sail Operation Sea Lion across the Channel and land German troops on the south coast. They had to assemble all of these barges and other vessels in ports from Antwerp right down to Boulogne, Calais, Dunkirk, Ostend, and Bomber Command constantly attacked these. Very often, by day, 2 groups Blenheims were heavily involved in this, and ferry battles, the 3-seater bomber that was underpowered with the same engine as the Hurricane and Spitfire, the Merlin. And these places are well defended by flak. And of course, when we get towards the end of August and September 1940, the Pas de Calais is absolutely swarming with Messerschmitt 109 fighters, which have been gathered together, concentrated in the Pas de Calais for the huge assault on London to escort the bombers. So this is very, very dangerous work. And moreover, they are not escorted. They are flying alone. Incredible bravery. There were some escorted operations, and in fact, The Defiance and 66 Squadron Spitfires previously have been involved in this sort of work. But it's just extraordinary. And not only were they attacking the barges, but they were also attacking some of the bigger ports as well. Le Havre, Cherbourg, Dunkirk, all these places, and really causing disruption. And concurrently attacking German-held airfields in northwest France, which is obviously very important. Not sure that achieved a huge amount, but certainly kept the Germans on their toes, although the weather for these operations by day, you need a particular type of weather. You need really broken cloud so that the approach to the target, the aircraft can hop in and out of cloud and hopefully get to the target, bomb it in about turn and come back in cloud. The Germans were doing the same thing. They were called Sturflüge or Piratenflüge, pirate attacks, where lone Ju-88s would in very bad weather fly to their targets. And I'm going to do something about that later because it's a really interesting subject all of its own. But they're attacking all of these airfields in the Netherlands, Schiphol for a start, all up that way, and right down to Cherbourg Peninsula again, and the airfields around Normandy. So that's a big commitment. Then they are also attacking shipping, the German naval bases at Wilhelmshaven and Hamburg, and factories. There are industrial and military targets in Germany that need attacking. And then, after the night of the 24th of August 1940, when the Luftwaffe accidentally bombed London, which heralded this huge assault on the capital, Bomber Command went to Berlin. That's a long flight to Berlin by night in a Whitley or a Wellington. It's a long flight, a long way over enemy-held territory. And the German night fighters were already active. If you look at the Bomber Command losses throughout the Battle of Britain, as you get towards the end of the Battle of Britain, the German night fighters were actually intruding over the Channel and over East Anglia, catching the bombers as they're landing or even taking off. So, again, this is really dangerous work. So Bomber Command has got quite a spread of responsibilities there, attacking the invasion preparations, the invasion ports, disruption, attacking airfields, attacking shipping, reconnaissance, and the night bombing of targets elsewhere, industrial and military targets, even Berlin and into Germany itself. So, huge commitment. And let's not forget that there was only ever one Victoria Cross awarded to a fighter pilot, which was Flight Lieutenant James Brindley Nicholson of 249 Squadron during the Battle of Britain on the 16th of August 1940 over Southampton. But there were many awarded to Bomber Command crews. There are various reasons for that. I mean, fighter pilots, by the very nature of the game, it's a very isolating, solitary business, moving very, very fast, and witnessing these great acts of signal acts of valour is very difficult, and that's one reason. But it's ironic, really, that on the 15th of September 1940, Battle of Britain Day, that night, it was Sergeant Hanna who won a Victoria Cross, a Bomber Command aircrew. So, let's not forget this. And then, what about Coastal Command? Incredible. Having to protect convoys, reconnaissance, also attacking the invasion port and the preparation, mining the German ports and estuaries, great commitments. And these people are flying also as far as Norway in Hudsons, Blenheims, and attacking German coastal targets along the Norwegian coast, seeking out shipping in the North Sea, shepherding convoys, Sunderland flying boats, those huge 4-engined flying boats covering great distances, seeking and destroying U-boats. And the U-boats are a real menace to protect our convoys. Absolutely incredible. And again, suffered losses. And, this really mustn't be forgotten. And the Fleet Air Arm as well, in such outdated aircraft as the Fairy Swordfish biplane and the Albacore, attacking the invasion preparations, reconnaissance, and mining. So they're all doing it. This is all essential activity contributing to defeating Germany and keeping Britain safe. So absolutely amazing, really, that when it came to recognising aircrew who had fought in the Battle of Britain, which the Air Ministry decided was from the 10th of July to the 31st of October 1940, it was only Fighter Command aircrew who had flown at least one operational sortie between those dates with one of the accredited fighter squadrons or other units the Air Ministry decided had taken part. So that completely excluded Coastal Command and Bomber Command. And the other people it excluded were the photographic reconnaissance people, the Spitfires based at Heston, who were going, unarmed and unafraid, flying very high, sometimes very low, photographing the German invasion fleet assemblies, the airfields, other targets, coming back with essential information. And all of this is going on during the Battle of Britain, whilst Fighter Command is fighting its own battle, actually physically defending Britain in the air within sight of home ground, over home ground, isn't it? So I suppose the fighter pilots' battle was a very visible one that people watching in Britain, in southern England, were able to see, whereas the battle fought by the other commands was perhaps more detached because it was fought over enemy-occupied Europe or over the sea, far away. Maybe that's one reason. But I do think it's a shame, really, that there's not more research and more being written about this. And I've certainly included reference to the battles fought by Bomber Coastal Command and the Photographic Reconnaissance Unit, in the new official history, because it's very, very important. And another thing that's worth bearing in mind, talking about the battles fought by these other commands, is that there were many pilots from Bomber Command, Coastal Command, and Fleet Air Arm who volunteered to fight with Fighter Command and converted to Spitfires and Hurricanes and fought in Fighter Command. Immediately people like Dickie Cork, Fleet Air Arm pilot, 242 Squadron, springs to mind. Arthur Blake, the Admiral, as he was called, on 19 Squadron. Another Fleet Air Arm. So they all played their part, didn't they? So let's just not forget that. And I think that the Bomber Command Memorial, is a really great thing. And it pictures a heavy bomber crew, a Lancaster crew, I guess, and the different roles are depicted: navigator, pilot, air gunner, bombardier, so on. But to me, that represents much more than just the night bombing of Germany. It represents the whole sacrifice by Bomber Command, including what they did in the Battle of Britain. And let's just not forget it. It just got my goat. This was a quick video. My videos are never rehearsed. I just do them off the cuff. And I just thought this morning, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Before I get back to work on Volume 8, Battle of Britain Remembered, which is all about how the battle has been commemorated and its significance in history, its real significance, memorials, things like that, and museums, bit of a guide to a few key sites of interest. So I've got to get that finished. But I thought before I do that, I'm just going to set the camera up, let it roll, and talk about Bomber Command, Coastal Command, Fleet Air Arm, Photographic Reconnaissance, and just try and put that on the map on this channel. So I hope you're enjoying our videos. They seem to be well received. And as time goes on, what the plan is that with the weather will hopefully one day get better. We've had a very, very wet, dark, dull, gloomy winter in Britain this year, which still doesn't look like it's giving up, even though it was the spring equinox yesterday. But when I finish volume out, and with the weather getting better, we're going to be going out and about making films. So showing you some of the key locations that were involved in the Battle of Britain. So it won't just be me sat waffling on in front of a camera, even though that seems to be quite popular. And there we are. So if you like what we do, please subscribe, join our community, help us grow the community. Feedback always welcome, good or bad, in the comment section below. And I'll look forward to talking to you again when we've got something else off the cuff to say. So have a good day, whatever you do.